Good morning, Cave Creek and Arizona Foothills 911 family. I am honored today to be in the presence of Deputy Fire Chief Jim Ford. Today we're going to be talking about a few things like the Cave Creek Complex Fire, the Buffalo Chip Fire, the East Desert Fire, the Ocotillo Fire, the Feed Store Fire, and the Cake House Fire. These are things that affected Cave Creek Carefree and has also made the town of Cave Creek make some changes. And so without any further ado, I would like to pass it on over to Deputy Chief.
Thank you, Sonny. Just as a background, kind of introduce myself, I've been in the fire service since 1975. I've been a chief officer since 1989. I initially started out here in Cave Creek with Rural Metro when they had their one station at Tom Darlington and Cave Creek Roads, way back when. And I've worked pretty much in the city of Scottsdale my whole career. I'm currently working with the town of Cave Creek through an intergovernmental agreement. It's called an IGA, where I've been loaned from Scottsdale Fire and the city of Scottsdale to Cave Creek to help them evaluate the major issues that you've had up here over the last few years and to give them some recommendations on where to go from here, what they can and what they can't do, what type of service they have and what type of service they possibly could have. So that's just a little bit of background on me for the Cave Creek area, just so that you know. I built my dad's house out here in 1971. When I was in high school, I helped him do that. So a long-time Cave Creek residents. My younger brothers and sisters actually went to the school before it wasn't a school anymore. It's schoolhouse in Cave Creek. So we've been out here a long time, and I've seen the area grow and change quite dramatically. And that's kind of what we're talking about today. This is no longer the Cave Creek that it was when I came out in the early 70s, or a lot of people came out in the 80s. The town and the area has grown dramatically, and it's going to continue to grow. It's not going to stay the same. So that means that the challenges that we have and what we're looking for, what we're looking at, is going to change. And the community, both Cave Creek Carefree and the Desert Hills areas, need to change with it. And so that's one of the things that we're up to. Like I said, just so you know, I was on an IGA with the town. I started out here in December of last year. And again, one of the big issues and one of the main reasons that I'm out here is because of the fire experiences that you had last year. Two major wildland fires, the East Desert Fire and the Ocotillo Fire. Both of them happened in May of last year. The East Desert Fire burned almost 1,500 acres. Did start in Cave Creek and did require an awful lot of resources from the local fire service, from the regional fire service, and from the greater region fire service, which is called the automatic aid system. Then just 2 weeks later, you had a second major wildland fire, and that was the Ocotillo Fire. And that one burned almost 1,000 acres, and that one also burned several structures as the crews worked their behinds off to try and protect the animals, to protect the people, and to protect the structures that were out here. Again, those are major incidents. People just think that these wildland fires and these major incidents only happen up north and only happen around Prescott and Payson and Flagstaff, and that's just not true. The third largest wildland fire in Arizona history started in the north part of Scottsdale, just by Desert Mountain. So these fires happen here. They happen very quickly. They're very devastating. And so what we need to do is be prepared to help and do what we can in the meantime to reduce the impact of the fires. We know we're going to have them. You're always going to have them. As more people come in, we're going to have more fires. But the goal, in my mind, the goal is to reduce the impact of the incidents that we do have. And so that's what we're up to. So here in Cave Creek, the town council has taken the step to have us come out and evaluate what we've done. One of the reasons that this occurred is after those major fires last year, the town and the town manager was contacted by all the other jurisdictions that surround us, Scottsdale, Phoenix, Desert Mountain, actually all the way to Glendale and Peoria. Those folks all sent resources to those fires. And they basically said that it's time for Cave Creek to grow up. Cave Creek is no longer, like I said, a small community like it was when I came out here. So now we're right about 6,000 people, about 38 square miles. It's time for the community to actually invest in their emergency services. So that's what we're working on out here. The other communities said they don't mind helping, but they're not going to continue to help in the same manner that they have in the past. Their communities and their residents are paying for that and doing what they need to do to provide those services. Cave Creek just doesn't get to, rent it for a day. basically. So that was the messages that was sent to the town manager and to the council. And so that's what we've been working on. So that kind of gives you a background of why we're here, where we're at, what the issues are as Cave Creek goes forward.
I really appreciate that. And as you know, I mean, for me, even just in the past 3 years, the amount of growth that I've seen is just incredible. We're seeing our areas kind of being decimated by all these fires, and then we also have to look at what we're going to do about flooding and whatnot. And so I think it's critical that we join forces together. And as I've always said before, we work better together than we do apart. So I would like to also say that Jim has a few things going on in a couple of days, and I hope that you guys will come and participate in that. It is for your good. It is for the better of the community, so that you can learn and understand a little bit more about what is happening. He will also have packets that I passed out a few days ago, I should say a couple weeks ago, which is the Ready, Set, Go packets. He will have these with him. I'll probably give him about 50 to 100. But those are things that you will be able to have, and if you need some for your neighbors, if you want some distributed to your neighborhoods, I will be happy to get those together. So Jim, tell us about your upcoming events that are happening.
Well, one of the big issues that we looked at, not issues, but one of the big areas that we needed to address was information and education. As a longtime fire marshal and a longtime fire chief, one of the big things is everybody always says it's never going to happen to me, so I don't need to pay attention to it.
Correct.
Well, we've proved that that's not correct out here. It can happen to you, it can happen to your neighbors. So one of the big areas that we're doing is trying to reach out and do some community education, some community information. So all of the council meetings, just so that you know, are recorded. All of the council meetings that I've attended and made presentations to are on the Cave Creek Town website. You can go there and watch any of them. If you want to talk about how we got to where we're at today, if you want to talk about the budget, all of the budget presentations are on there, how much this is going to cost. But what we're doing right now is we set up 4 initial outreach meetings. 3 of them are at the Foothills Library. We've already had the first 2. The third one will be Saturday at 1 o'clock, and it's open to anybody that comes in, any resident, anybody that has questions about this. I'll go over where we got to, how we're here, what's looking for the forward as we go forward. And then I'll answer any questions that you have. It's an open discussion between me and the town residents, just trying to make everybody aware of what's going on. So that's Saturday at 1 o'clock. The next one that we have, again, is an open meeting, open forum, and that'll be next Thursday, and it'll be at the Holland Center. And that one starts at either 5 or 6. I'll have to give you the direct time on that. But it's on the website, it's on the town's website. Those are also available on YouTube. We're putting them out live as we're doing them, so everybody that can't get there or doesn't want to get there in person can take a look at it. And again, it's open for open discussion and it's open for questions. It's just we're trying to make sure that the residents and the business owners and everybody in the area understands why we're doing what we're doing. This wasn't just a wild hair that somebody got that said, hey, let's just do this now. There's been a history of incidents, as Sonny talked about earlier, that have occurred. And every time it occurs, everybody says, well, what are we doing? And there's been past citizens committees that was developed in 2008. There's been past reports that have been given to the council. But at some point, the council needs to take actions, and that's what we'll be talking about at these outreaches. What the council's done, where we're going from here, and what the town needs to continue to do.
And some folks may be wondering why I'm posting this on the Arizona Foothills 911. The reason is real clear. We need to reach as many people as we possibly can. I also want to clear some things up. We are working together, not apart. Rural Metro, Daisy Mountain, and the town of Cave Creek. We are also working with Scottsdale Fire, as obviously he's from Scottsdale Fire, but we are a team. And when we look at firefighters, they work every day, and they come out, and it doesn't matter politic-wise what people are thinking. At the end of the day, we all work together to make a better Cave Creek, to make a better Carefree, and a better everything. And as we speak, we'll be getting together soon with both Sean Gilliland from Rural Metro and Dave Wilson from Daisy Mountain. And we will be having a live discussion with all of us together to see what we can do to help answer questions for you and go forward. And we will very soon have our own YouTube channel where these meetings will take place there, so it does not take away from what the 911 is supposed to be. So going forward, definitely we're joining together. with professionals to ensure that you have the best information at all times, so that you know that we're not just going nilly-willy and getting information from other places that may not be true. We do still encourage all residents to talk to us, to let us know when you see smoke, when you see anything. And one of the big concerns I have right now is flooding as we go into the monsoon seasons, particularly those folks in downtown Cave Creek, going out towards Cahaba Springs and those areas there. Please be super careful. At this time, consider not putting your horses out in the washes. These flash floods can come very quickly. We don't want to see any of your animals hurt. And I'm also going to be working with the University of Arizona to talk to you a little bit more about how to save your desert giants, our saguaros, so that even if fire comes through, we will not lose them. Do you have anything else to add to this, Jim?
Just to let you know that, again, we're working with everybody, working with the residents, and as Sonny said, there's things that you can do individually, and a lot of people don't realize how important that is. Even if you do get a little bit of defensible space around your properties, or even if you make sure that your access is there so that the firefighters and the crews and the resources can get there. Even as the saguaros, as she talked about, I've worked with ASU in the past. If you just clear out a 3 to 5 foot ring around the base of the saguaros, and we do have a major fire, the saguaros will still live through it. They've been here for hundreds of years. We're boiling them right now because of all the invasive fuels and things like that. Little things like that, which does take some effort on the part of individual homeowners, but little things like that make a big difference when we do have the incidents. If you do defensible space around your house, there's a really good chance that the firefighters will be able to protect your house. If you don't, then it's kind of a crapshoot whether or not that happens. So we're asking for your help, and we need your help, and we need you to be informed of what's going on. And so don't hesitate to ask questions. Don't hesitate to ask Sonny questions about stuff. Don't hesitate to contact the town of Cave Creek or the town of Carefree or Daisy Mountain Fire Department or Rome Metro Fire Department. Contact us and ask us what you can do, and we'll be more than happy to come and do that, because that makes a big difference and has a big impact on the services that we can provide, emergency services that can come out. So make sure that you do that and take that opportunity, take that invitation.
Okay, Jim, one more time, let them know where you'll be the following few days. And,
Okay. Saturday, we'll be at the Foothills Library off of Schoolhouse, just north of Cave Creek Road. We'll be in the large rooms, so there's plenty of room for everybody if you want to come. Again, that'll also be live on YouTube if you don't want to make the trip down here. And then next Thursday, we'll be at the Holland Center. And again, those are live meetings, but we will put them on YouTube. But I'd prefer to be in person and discuss this with you and answer your questions. I'll take any and all questions. I don't care. This is a big issue. It's a very important item, and I want to make sure everybody knows what they need or answer any of their questions.
Thank you, everybody, for tuning in, and those of you who weren't able to tune in, you'll be able to see this, of course, throughout the day. I will leave it on the site probably for a week, and I also want to give a huge thank you to the town of Cave Creek for allowing us to use this meeting room and for always being there to answer questions when we need it. So if there are any other questions, if you want to get one of these Ready, Set, Go bags, you can get them from Jim at both events. And if you are a community and your community would like to have these, I just need a little bit of time. I will get them together for you, and we can drop them off and you can pass them out. Be safe. Thank you for everything.
Thank
Signing
you.
out. Bye-bye.
Bye.